When it comes to rap, no other woman has done it like Nicki Minaj. She not only broke down barriers by dominating an industry that is widely overtaken by men, she also put female rap into the forefront of popular music, proving its commercial viability and capacity to dictate the global markets. She's made a name for herself with her razor-sharp bars, witty punchlines, and recognizable brand that is distinctly Nicki. Her work ethic and determination to become the best of the best proved successful for her as she became the most successful female rapper of all time. Starships were meant to fly, and boy oh boy did Nicki fly. A rapper, a pop star, an actress, a global icon, and undeniably the queen of rap. In this video, we're gonna be talking about why Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap and the best female rapper of all time. But before we even start, let's first talk about the concept of the queen of rap. Hip-hop in its very core is a very braggadocious genre. You can see it in most of the topics discussed in raps. Even from the start, hip-hop is about being the best and proving you are the best. Whether it was proving you are the best MC, you having the best clothes, the best cars, the best drip, the best body, the best kitty. So it's no surprise that a hierarchy in rap is created, whereas in other genres, it really doesn't exist because the context behind those genres really doesn't necessitate a hierarchy. We can imagine hip-hop as Game of Thrones, and rappers compete to be at the Iron Throne. The king of rap debate is something that has a lot of heavy discourse in it, as there have been so many male rappers who are worthy of the title, so the list for that is heavy long. However, in female rap, there really are only a few female rappers who have that undeniable it factor to even make them qualify for the throne. And because of this scarcity, alongside other factors such as misogyny and the idea that women who are in the same fields don't get along, a narrative was created that there can only be one female rapper at the top of the rap game. Though some might argue that this should be abolished and that everyone is a queen, I think it kind of defeats the point of hip-hop. Because most of these female rappers still rap about being the best of the best, and they still diss people on their songs. But when it comes to crowning who is the best, now it's supposed to be a you're all queens narrative, when you can still have that same sentiment without discrediting the GOAT of female rap, and that's Nicki. I think the real problem people have with the title isn't the title itself, it's who owns the title. Because Nicki's one of the few people who have claimed the title for themselves publicly, calling herself the queen of rap in multiple occasions. The difference though is that whereas other female rappers have claimed the spot, Nicki really is the only one who has the cards to back it up, and the title stuck to her, not to other female rappers. And what I've noticed is that there seems to be a harsher tone from people when having the conversation of Nicki and the queen of rap title, as opposed to men who have said almost the same thing. Nicki is the one who gets backlash the most for the silly little title of the queen of rap. But I think it's more than that. It's an assertion of Nicki after years of being denied her talent, her achievements, her impact. That title is proof that she's more than a rapper with a pretty face or a big butt or a rapper who just raps about her pussy or any other thing that people have diminished her as. Women have to work twice as hard as men to even get half of what the men would get. And as an immigrant black woman who came from nothing and rose to the top despite the challenges and tribulations in an industry dominated by men, that title to her is sacred. And it's something that's worth fighting for. To prove that Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap and the best female rapper of all time, we're going to be delving into three main categories: sales, talent, and impact. Then at the end, we're going to be talking about some of the challenges that Nicki faces in owning the throne for the queen of rap and compare her to some of her peers to really see who is the best of the best.
What's up, y'all? It's Nicki Minaj.
I feel like as an artist, one of the best ways to start improving your legitimacy is your sales and how many records you have sold. And Nicki Minaj has sold a lot. She's not only one of the best-selling female rappers of all time, she's up there as one of the highest-selling artists of the 2010s decade. And she's still dominating this decade. In the US alone, Nicki Minaj has over 261.1 million records in RIAA-eligible certifications. Her song Super Bass was certified diamond by the RIAA for selling over 10 million copies in the US. To put this into perspective, there are only over 110 songs to have this same achievement. And her other huge hit, Starships, is on its way to reaching diamond status. She has also sold a reportedly 15 million album records in the world as of 2019, and that number has certainly grown by then. She was the first woman to have 100 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 and is currently number 2 for the most entries by a woman in said chart, with over 129 total entries, 22 top 10 hits, and 3 number 1 singles. She's only beaten out by Taylor Swift in this regard. Her recent single, Super Freaky Girl, became her first number 1 hit as a solo artist and the first solo song by a female rapper to debut at number 1 on the Hot 100 this century. Insane for someone 13 years into their career. She's ranked as the best female rapper of the 2010s decade in terms of chart success by Billboard, number 2 rapper overall behind Drake, and number 15 on overall artist in the 2010s. There's also this proven effect that a Nicki feature brings to every record. In an article by McCann back in 2015 using Spotify data, they conclude that a Nicki feature surpasses Drake's effects on features, with a 172% boost in streams for Nicki. And that was in 2015, with new features like Princess Diana, which recently debuted at number 4 on the Hot 100 after the Nicki remix, pushing the song to new heights, and songs like Bang Bang, Side to Side, Swallow, Fifi, and more proving her power after 2015, that effect is still in full effect. We can go on and on about Nicki's success, but fact of the matter is, Nicki Minaj has sold a lot. But chart success and sales is not the pillar in determining whether an artist is good or not, especially when it comes to the question of who is the queen of rap. At the end of the day, talent precedes sales in the conversation of who is the better artist, and Nicki Minaj definitely has that.
Big boobs? What?
Though often dismissed as a female rapper who's only concerned about superficial stuff, Nicki Minaj is a multifaceted beast. She's an artist who is able to adapt to the current landscape of music without coming off as riding the trend. She doesn't lose herself in anything she does, and you can still see Nicki in anything she puts out. As a rapper, your most important skill is your ability to write raps, because in theory, anyone can really be a rapper. Though there are certain factors and skill sets in distinguishing yourself from the novice and the experts and rapping as a skill, songwriting excluded, such as breath control, the ability to catch up to the beat and add certain tones and flows, which help better translate your lyrics. If you're decent at most of these, you can theoretically be a rapper. Unlike in singing, wherein singing is a much more robust and hard skill to master. But rapping is more than just saying words fast. It encompasses both rapping the words and writing the words. Because if you don't write your raps, you're basically a karaoke singer, a performer. Nicki prides herself in her ability to write raps, and write raps well. She has made it a point of contention ever since she started rapping back in the early 2000s, and it is still something that she talks about constantly till this day. Her ability to write raps in such a referential way that will leave you thinking for a minute about the entendres incorporated in her lyrics is a talent of its own. I don't work in no office, but they copying, and that's facts though. She doesn't work in an office, but they still copying, and that's facts. But she's also talking about the fax machine, and they're copying, but she doesn't work in an office. Now every club promoter win a bid like auctions, cause we pack shows, sell ticks like Boston. No, you know she's talking about Boston Celtics, but she's also packing shows, and she's selling ticks, sell ticks like Boston. New slaves, but I'm still the master. I'm whipping foreigns to make him go faster. You know, she's saying that there might be new people in the game, but she's still the master, and she's whipping foreigns like foreign cars. She's driving them, but she's also whipping foreigns to make them go faster, which goes back to the other line, new slaves, but I'm still the master. The bars. And that's just literally a sliver of Nicki's lyrical prowess. When it comes to writing bars, Nicki is A1 to that. I didn't even go through her most lyrical bars because it would take up a lot of time just to explain the bar, because Nicki packs so much reference and mind-boggling connections in her bars. She's been the source of every bad bitch's IG caption, myself included, since the day she stepped into the steam. And it's not just the bars. When we talk about Nicki's writing, we also talk about her songwriting ability. Not only is she able to write raps with razor-sharp bars that hits hard, she's also able to write just catchy songs in general. From the poppiest of pop songs like Super Bass and Starships, to hard-hitting lyrical rap songs like the aforementioned Motorsport, Romance Revenge, and LLC, to silly songs wherein she showcases her theater background like Romance Holiday and Where Them Girls At, and even more contemplative soft ballads and pop songs like Grand Piano and Pills and Potions. Nicki Minaj is not just a rapper who writes her music, she is the definition of a songwriter and the hitmaker. The only reason she is not included in the conversations of best songwriters is because rap is still a genre that not a lot of people take seriously. They ostracize the genre, Nicki included, because they don't understand it and they don't see it as anything more than superficial. But it takes a lot of talent and skill to be a good rapper and extreme determination to be a great one, and Nicki has all of that. Nicki Minaj is also just great at rapping as a skill. You can clearly hear her raps, and every word she says, her enunciation is impeccable. You can hear what she's saying clearly without mumbling, without struggle. Her breath control is also insane.
Cause we A-listers, we pay sisters, this watch right here, them face quizzes. I confess I woke up like this, I was drinking my cup like this. All this ass on that flawless dick, Instagram another flawless pic. Flawless city with these flawless titties, I got all these hundreds, you got all the 50s. I was some flawless bitches cause they more than pretty, cause niggas love bad bitches, I be on they crispy. Throw the ass back, I be on my frisbee. Princess cut diamonds on my Disney.
Her musicality and ear for hearing hit songs is also something we should applaud her for. That's why her feature is such a coveted thing to acquire as an artist. Once Nicki Minaj hops on a song, you have her seal of approval, as she, specifically now, have become very picky in the song she approves. And I think the biggest thing that has kept her so relevant over the years is her ability to blend and modify her rapping style to fit any genre. Her versatility and range is what has set her apart from most rappers out right now. Nicki can go do a Latin trap song, a K-pop song, a reggae song, a R&B, pop, gospel, rock, dance hall, and hip-hop back-to-back, and still have a consistent style while still being able to flourish in such genres. I'd go as far to say that Nicki is one of the most versatile artists to ever live. Her versatility as an artist has expanded the boundaries of female rap. She effortlessly transitions between rap, singing, and different styles, showcasing the breadth of talent and creativity that can exist within the genre. This is why features have worked so well for Nicki. It allows her to explore genres and new sounds while still keeping her own sound for her. Her ability to do voices and embody her own created alter egos, which stems from her theater background, as Nicki did a couple of off-Broadway shows. She fills her alter egos with such rich backstory and meaning behind it that they become their own characters, which Nicki utilizes when the time is right.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage. So he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
It must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
But her talent and sales aren't the only thing that has solidified her spot to the top. The thing that really makes Nicki Minaj a star in any room that she stands in, she's a standout, you just her stand-in, is the sheer impact that she has had on not only the hip-hop landscape and the pop landscape and the music landscape in general, but also the world.
Haters, I'm not your enemy, I'm your hero. You know, cheer up. You should be happy I'm here. You know, I'm showing you bitches how to do it.
Nicki Minaj has left her pink print all over the music industry and the world. She has left such a huge impact that she is now embedded into pop culture in general. Firstly, she revived female rap from the dead because in the mid to late 2000s, female rap was extinct. No female rapper were doing anything significant in those times in terms of music. Nicki Minaj stepped into the scene as the 2010s decade came in and resurrected a part of hip-hop and ushered new female rappers to come into the scene. A lot of people have said that in female rap, we can categorize the timeline as before Nicki and after Nicki. You can see on the new female rappers the impact she has had on them. Nicki Minaj's unique style, fashion choices, and larger-than-life persona have made her a cultural icon. She has inspired countless fans and aspiring artists to embrace their individuality, creativity, and confidence. Artists like Doja Cat, Ice Spice, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, City Girls, and so many other female rappers and even queer artists like Lil Nas X and Saucy Santana are so obviously inspired by Nicki, or they themselves have said that Nicki is their inspiration. Some might credit others for them getting into the game, but look at their age. Who were they listening when they were growing up? It was Nicki. She has also been endorsed by the greatest of the greats and legends shortly after her debut. She has worked with Kanye West and Jay-Z on Monster, Lil Wayne and Drake since she joined Young Money, Mariah Carey, Rihanna, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and so many more. Nicki was one of the few pioneers in the 2010s to popularize pop rap, something that is now utilized by a lot of rappers as hip-hop is now being taken down after years of being the top genre. You can also see this in artists such as Doja and Lotto, in which most of their biggest songs are pop/rap crossovers. Nicki is someone who isn't afraid to speak her mind, even if it backfires on her. She spoke out against Grammys after them not giving her the well-deserved Best New Artist because she didn't follow the Grammys committee in cutting her performance out of the show minutes before she was about to go on stage. She spoke out against the power that DJs have on radio, and she was blackballed from it, making her singles look like they were underperforming. She's also one of the few people who have fought back against Billboard's rules of not counting streams in the sales figures of their charts on albums, which is now the dominating figure that keeps a lot of albums charting. And Nicki actually won in her fight. Nicki Minaj is someone who isn't afraid to speak her mind, and though this has put some people off from her, you still have to admire her unafraidness of being cancelled and just speaking her mind. Not all of what she says might go well with the general public, but she bears it all out. It's really her, and that's impressive in a time where almost all A-listers filtered their voice out so much that they feel manufactured. Nicki was really the first female rapper to be successful in the age of social media. Even though she's been hot since flip phones, she really flourished in the social media era. Scroll through TikTok and you will probably hear a Nicki Minaj soundbite or one of her songs. Memes and funny videos of Nicki are now scattered throughout the internet and pop culture. Not a lot of 2010 popstars have kept the same relevancy that Nicki has. Someone who is still in the public consciousness while still being able to compete in the charts. Nicki really is the first global female rap superstar icon. Simple things like the way she dresses, the way she acts, the way she conducts businesses, and her mannerisms are now being adopted by other female rappers and artists in general. And we haven't even talked about the barbz, Nicki's fans. The barbz are an extremely powerful force that has been able to achieve the same notoriety and fame that Nicki has. Just look at the hashtag barbz on TikTok and compare it to other fan bases. They win out. They've become sort of like an independent force from Nicki, being able to support her music and keep her charting despite numerous attempts to blackball Nicki from everything. If we really look at it, Nicki Minaj is the complete package. She is everything that one would need to be a rap superstar, and we can completely see this when comparing her to other female rappers out right now. There really are only 3 female rappers who have even come close to touching Nicki's spot. That's mainly Doja, Megan, and Cardi. We can also consider Ice Spice as she is having a huge debut and moment right now. If you look at all 4 of those female rappers, you can see that they all have a part of what makes Nicki the queen, but it's never complete. Megan, for example, may have the rap skills and writing ability that Nicki possesses, but she doesn't have the versatility, range, and pop sensibility that Nicki has. Doja may have the versatility and creativity that Nicki possesses, especially in her earlier years, but she doesn't have the street edge and rap core that Nicki has. Cardi may have the sales to back her up, but she objectively doesn't have a tenth of the talent that Nicki has. Ice Spice may have the hype that Nicki had during her debut, maybe even more so, but she has so much more to show to even come close to Nicki's level. All of these women are amazing in their own right, and I think the biggest thing that they lack is the want to be the queen of rap. To be the queen of rap, you have to not only be the best, you have to want it. Nicki proclaimed herself as the queen of rap on her second album. The starting track of her debut album is literally titled I'm the Best. Nicki has the talents, the sales, the impact, and the insatiable hunger to be the best. And she has been the best for a whole decade. And with recent releases still showing that she has commercial viability and she can still produce quality works, there is no stopping her anytime soon. And I didn't include other criteria such as performances, because we're talking about the queen of rap and the best female rapper of all time. These types of criteria aren't given to male rappers to prove that they are great rappers, because their rapping ability is the one that speaks for itself. They don't need other their extra stuff to prove that they are a great rapper. So I think it's kind of weird and misogynistic to ask Nicki of this, especially when no one will say that Cardi is the better rapper to Tupac or Biggie because she can perform better or has more endorsements. An argument against Nicki when it comes to her being the queen of rap was that she didn't have competition during her earlier years, that's why she dominated for so long. But she did have competition. It's just that her competition was male rappers at the time and female pop stars such as Rihanna, Katy Perry, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift. She was alongside all of them in the charts at the time of their peaks. And even then, Nicki still had competition in the female rap market. Iggy Azalea exploded around 2014 and was even more successful than Nicki in the charts. Same goes for Cardi B in 2017 to 2018. But rather than having high debuts and quickly low dips, Nicki was able to remain consistent for a whole decade. Nicki was so successful in her reign that newer female rappers now have a hard time easily being able to break into the mainstream because of how high Nicki set the standard. Billboard named Nicki the 10th best rapper of all time, the only female rapper in the top 10. This shows that Nicki is not only the queen of rap and the best female rapper of all time, she's one of the best rappers of all time, period.
You have to be like a beast. You have to be a beast. That's the only way they respect you. When Wayne walks on a set and say, don't talk to me, have my music ready, get the up out of my face and I'm gonna blow this to your face all day, it's cool. But every time I put my foot down and stand up for myself, it's like, we've heard about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj shut down a photo shoot. Oh my God, no one wants to work with Nicki Minaj. I'm glad you heard. Now, when I come to a photo shoot, let it be of quality. You know why? Because I put quality in what I do. I spend time and I spend energy and I spend effort and I spend everything I have, every fiber of my being to give people quality. So if I turn up to a photo shoot and you got a $50 clothes budget and some sliced pickles on board, you wanna know what? No, I am gonna leave. Is that wrong for wanting more for myself, wanting people to treat me with respect? But you know what? Next time they know better. But had I accepted the pickle juice, I would be drinking pickle juice right now. When I am assertive, I'm a bitch. When a man is assertive, he's a boss.
Bossed up.
He bossed up.
Yeah, he bossed up.
No negative connotation behind bossed up, but lots of negative connotation behind being a bitch.